Hi everyone, tonight's story is called Miss Brown, Miss Blonde and Miss Pleasant. Once upon a time there was a woman and she had 3 daughters, Miss Brown, Miss Blonde and Miss Pleasant. Miss Brown was pretty and Miss Blonde was very pretty too, but Miss Pleasant, they had no time at all for her and had her stuck at the fireplace in amongst the ashes. What the devil anyway, but one Sunday morning the fire went out and they asked Miss Brown to go and get a light or they would be late for Mass. She went to an old hag, and when she went to the Hag of the Hens, she was passing a drain that was on the way, and the watercress spoke. And the watercress said, "Pick watercress, eat watercress, and take watercress with you." "Musha, I'm not picking watercress. I'm not eating watercress. I'm not taking watercress with me." She walked another bit until she came to a gooseberry bush. "Pick a gooseberry, eat a gooseberry, and take a gooseberry with you." "Musha, I'm not picking a gooseberry. I'm not eating a gooseberry, and I'm not taking a gooseberry with me." She went into the Hag of the Hens. She says, "I need a light." "Well," says the Hag of Hens, "if you get the red knit that's at the back of my ear, you'll get your light." "Well, hump you and your dirty knits. Keep your knit." "Well," says she, "I'll keep my light as well." She had to go home and she didn't have a light with her. Her mother asked Miss Blonde to go then. Miss Blonde went. The watercress spoke to her just as before, and the gooseberry spoke to her, and she wouldn't take either of them with her. When she went that far then, the Hag of the Hens asked her to take the knit from behind her ear, and she wouldn't, so she wouldn't give her a light. Then they asked Miss Pleasant to go. Miss Pleasant got up and shook herself, and she shook a peck of yellow ashes off her. She went as far as the watercress. "Pick watercress and eat watercress and bring watercress with you." "Musha, I'll pick the watercress, I'll eat the watercress, and I'll bring watercress with me." The gooseberry spoke. "Pick a gooseberry, eat a gooseberry, and bring a gooseberry with you." "Musha, I'll pick a gooseberry, I'll eat a gooseberry, and I'll bring a gooseberry with me." She went into the Hag of the Hens. "I need a light," said she. "Well, if you take out the red knit that's at the back of my ear, you will get the light." She told her she would take it out, and she did. "Now," says the hag, when she'd taken the red knit from behind her ear, "now," says she, "as soon as they go to Mass, you come down to me. I want to talk to you about something." The very minute they went to Mass, she went down, and the hag put her into a tub and gave her a good bath, and she tidied her up. Then she put a fine suit on her, and took a slender black horse out of the stable and put Miss Pleasant riding on the slender black horse, and she went to the chapel. When they came home from Mass, she was at home, and all the clothes removed, and her rags on her, and the dinner cooking. "Was there anything strange in the chapel today?" she asked Miss Brown. "Aren't you inquisitive?" said she. She asked Miss Blonde then, and she said the same thing. Then she went to her mother. "Yes," says she, "there was a girl in the chapel today, and she was the most beautiful girl in the sun had ever shone on, and she'd a slender black horse that could snatch a hair from the wind, but the wind would not snatch a hair from it, and she was amazing." Who was it but Miss Pleasant herself? The Hag of the Hens asked her to go down a second time, and she went. The Hag of the Hens tidied her up, and she'd a better suit the second day than the first, and she'd a slender grey horse with her that day. When they came home then, she asked them if there was any news. "Oh, who'd be bothered telling you?" said Miss Brown. "Do you have any news?" said she to Miss Blonde. "Oh, who'd be bothered telling you?" said Miss Blonde. She asked her mother then. The mother said there was news, that there was a girl in the chapel today whose beauty had no match, and besides, the king's son planned to have guards at the gate of the chapel a week from today, to catch her the next day. That was all right then. Miss Pleasant went down then and she told this to the Hag of the Hens. The Hag of the Hens asked her to go down good and early in the morning when they'd go to the chapel. She did that, and she tidied her up, and she was 10 times as elegant that day. She went, and she had a slender golden horse with her that day. She went riding, my good woman. And who the devil was there but the king's son and a guard out to seize her? But she leaped up on the horse, and the horse ran like the wind, but he grabbed her shoe. He went off then with the shoe and the guard with him, and he was checking everyone to see if the shoe would fit them. He went into this house and that house, and every house he went into, some of them were cutting bits off their heels and some bits off their big toes to get the shoe to fit them. When they'd put on the shoe, their feet would start bleeding, and he would know then that they were deceiving him and that the foot had been cut. He went into the house where Miss Pleasant lived. They put Miss Pleasant under a barrel when they heard he was coming. Miss Brown and Miss Blonde were there, but what the devil use was that? One of them cut the big toe off herself, but it was no good, and the other woman cut a bit of her heel off, and that was no good. She started scratching in under the barrel. "What do you have in there?" "That's a little pig we bought," she said, "and she's in there, and if we let her out, she runs away." "Let her out," said the king's son. "I never saw a pig before, and I'd like to see her." "Oh, well, you won't see her at all," said the old woman. "We can't let her out at all." "Oh, well, I have to see her before I leave the house." She started scratching so hard you would think she was being paid to do it. Finally, she got out. He gave her the shoe, and oh, my old woman, there was nothing in the world suited her as well as that shoe. I see, says he, that you must be the one for me." "Oh, well," says she, "I need to go out for a wee minute." She went out and down to the Hag of the Hens so that she could do her up, and however lovely she was on Sunday, she was twice as nice that day. He liked her very much then. The first time he saw her, when he saw that it was a lady in under the barrel, his face dropped. But when he saw her again in the fine clothes that she had on her, and how lovely she looked, he was well satisfied. They went then, and they were married, and they had a wedding then that lasted for a year and a day, and the last day was better than the first. And when the wedding and everything was over, then he took Miss Pleasant home. When she was there a year and a day, she said, "I have to go and visit my sister to see how she is." "Well, of course," says the mother. They went down to the sea then to wash themselves, and what the devil, when Miss Brown got her washing herself in the water, what did she do but keep her there? And she put on her clothes and she went home, and she told the king's son that she was Miss Pleasant. Do you understand? Miss Pleasant used to have honey dripping from her fingers every night, and he used to suck her fingers, and there was no honey in the other woman's fingers, and he said that she wasn't herself, and she said she was, but as soon as she went into the sea that the honey had left her fingers. The king's son had a boy herding cows, and when he came home he was as fat as a minister, even though he wasn't eating a thing. The king's son said to him, "What sort of a life do you lead, or what are you doing at all? You never eat a thing, and you're fit to burst." "Oh yes," says he, "a monster swallowed my mistress when she went into the sea, but she comes out once a day, and I suck her fingers, and I don't need a thing." "Well," said the king's son, "I'll go down tomorrow to see what's going on." He went, and who was there but his own wife? The monster had swallowed her, but even so she let her out every day. He went down and saw how it was, and she says, "If you don't take a stone and hit the monster in the temple, she will destroy the world. And you take care tomorrow when you come down, have a stone and hit her in the right spot, because if you don't," says she, "you and me are finished." He watched the next day, and when he got a chance, he hit the monster in the temple with the stone, and he killed her. And he brought his own wife home. He had the two of them then, Miss Brown and Miss Pleasant, and he knew it was Miss Brown who had done the damage, who had sent her off and tried to drown her. And he went and got a bundle of twigs, and he hung her up, and he lit the twigs. He brought his own wife home, and he kept her from that day to this. And the last time I saw them, they were so fat they had puddings on them. They were asking me to come and call on them, but I've never gone since then. Good night, and stay safe.